Blessings to you. It's Call Rain or Call Rain Tarot, and I'm back with another pick a card video. So I want to show you the cards in a second. They're right next to me. You can't quite see them. But I just wanted to thank you for allowing me to read for you today, and I hope that this receives you in the best way possible and that it allows you to connect with your higher guidance and allows your intuition to have some practice figuring out what messages are for you and what resonates for you in your life at this moment. So I've already set the intention with the candles and set up my incense that's going to protect the space and allow for us to have a comfortable conversation with our higher guidance and our spiritual wisdom. Otherwise, I will show you the piles and then I will send you off to your pile. So let's go. So here are the piles with my setup. And the first one is some gold obsidian. The second one is a little stripy rock. And then the third one is some kind of iridescent fire opal. So once you've selected your pile, you can find the timestamp in the description, and otherwise I will see you in that section of the video. Okay, pile one, this is me after I've done your reading. I realized that I channeled songs for each one of the piles. I hope that this song is something that resonates and helps to strengthen the reading that has been done. So your song for your spirit guide, and this may have some different messages for each one of you, but I do feel that music is something that is very spiritually constructed and orchestrated. That's the right word. So this song for you is Your Graduation by Modern Baseball. And a little phrase that came to me for when I was listening to this song and just understanding the energy of this pile, it said pushing through pain, finding peace. So I saw the letter P, so I don't know if that means anything to anyone, but otherwise I hope that you enjoy the rest of the reading. Hello, pile one. So if you selected pile one, this is going to be your spirit guide reading. And I didn't really give any preface in the beginning of this video. I just wanted to let you know now what we're kind of looking into and remind you of what we should keep in mind as we're conducting this reading. So this is a card that I pulled basically how I would for like a signifier or anything to describe just one specific being or one energy that is a little bit more connected to the major arcana or those like court cards that we have in the traditional tarot decks. So this is the card that describes your spirit guide, the one that's coming through and kind of wants you to acknowledge their presence and what they're doing. Since this is a general reading, it's not going to be as specific as it would if you were getting a personal reading on a spirit guide, so I just wanted to let you know that that's kind of what we're going into here. The card that represents your spirit guide is the Mother of Swords, or the Queen of Swords, the divine feminine attached to the swords or air energy in the tarot. So this is really interesting to come through as a spirit guide. I'm seeing whenever, especially since you chose this stone, so this is like the golden obsidian, and golden obsidian is talking about power dynamics. It's also talking about our like relationship with ourselves and with our self-discipline and things like that. So this is a very strong and like wise and protective energy that is surrounding you, especially with this like feminine air energy. Feminine air energy, like the divine feminine, I think of like a good host as well, someone who is really, I don't know, connected to their like hospitality, but in a way that is also extremely good at setting boundaries and knows where the like energetic extensions of their field, how they want to influence other people, the division, where that kind of ends. So I want to shuffle on camera with you today, and I want to get a little bit more about this guide and kind of the qualities that they bring into your life and like what connected them to you. And the deck is being a little interesting as I'm shuffling here. Also, I apologize for any background noise. My cat is having fun, but that like jingling noise, it could be related to winter time, because I'm thinking of like Jingle Bells, Carol the Bells, those like Christmas songs. Oh, they could bring you gifts as well. The things that this energy provides you with almost feel like they're gifts in your reality. So they're like surprises. Also, with that Queen of Swords energy, it can be quick. It can be very like cutting and sharp. Okay, so I feel that we've shuffled enough. And I want to pull just a couple cards. So I spread the deck out and I'm going to pull 1, 2, 3. Okay, wow. For the way that your spirit guide connects with you in your everyday, and I'm feeling their energy. Their energy is very lighthearted. This is a very high vibrational being. Especially the Queen of Swords can sometimes also talk about being able to connect to the spiritual realm really easily. So this guide goes above and beyond to reach out to you and be very present and connected in your life. So the 3 cards that I got in terms of how this guide connects with you, how this guide reaches out to you in the everyday, we have the 4 of Wands in the reverse. And these cards are all like color wise very connected, and I also believe that they're talking about the different energy systems in your body that your spirit guide is connected to and how they communicate to you as well. Because we have I'll show you all 3 of the cards, but we have blue and we have red, orange, and a little bit of yellow. With these colors, I do feel that these are going to be, since there's the blue, it's the communication, it is like chills and maybe your throat, like the way that you communicate, the inflections and the different emotions that are carried through your voice are very heavily influenced by this guide. Because this guide also, with air energy, it's talking about our communication, our ability to mentally and physically use our breath to change reality. So it's also like having to do with meditation. This guide may come to you a lot in meditation. And so this is more just like about the areas in your life that this guide helps you with. So I think that this is finding your own freedom, kind of trailblazing. I feel like a lot of you who chose this pile and this guide is reaching out to you are very independent. You're fiercely going after what you want. And I feel that you're pioneering in some way. That's the phrase that came to me, because I got like the visual of like a park or like one of those national parks, and I'm thinking of kind of like an explorer type energy to you. Like you are maybe in like a field that you are working in, or like it could also be, sorry, it could also be like in your family life, you are somebody that is breaking barriers for other family members. Like you're stopping ancestral like patterns of how things happen. Wow. This also could be a guide that has kind of worked with your ancestry or your lineage or something. It could be like this guide is, for some of you, connected to like an ancestral pattern of like breaking down barriers and like pushing collective consciousness forward as well, because of this like pioneer energy that I'm getting from this 4 of Wands card. It helps you bridge gaps and like break barriers between groups of people. So you may be a person who has many intersections that affect your life as well, and this guide has kind of pointed out different intersections to you. This guide, I do feel, has been with you for a longer period of time, and this may be a more main guide that you have with you. It just may be difficult for you to tap in with this guide and kind of connect with this guide's energy because you may be new to like spirituality or something like that. Also with the Devil here, so this is also another reversed card. So these 2 cards are reversed. I feel like in this case it's amplifying the energy, and in this case it is again amplifying, but in a different way. I do feel that this guide is pointing out things to you that don't align with your higher purpose, or things that are like shadow work, things that you need to work through. So like when we have certain things in our life that we know are not aligned with our highest and greatest good and our ultimate truth and purpose, we do have spirit guides that have us have like emotional, physical, or energetic reactions to the things that we are doing. So this guide could have possibly been a little harsh with you in the past. I do think that Queen of Swords is the type of energy that we know can be very assertive and not be all that feeling. Sometimes it's more about the mental progression and the growth that we get from experiences. So this guide could also have kind of had to show you some tough love in the past. But with this temperance, I'm also being drawn to that angelic presence of this like guide and of this energy, that nurturing presence, because I want to set these cards down for a second, because this message I feel stands alone in this guide, because we have the mixture of the fire and the water elements here. This guide is showing you how the other aspects of your life contribute to your mental space and to contribute to your mental like formations and thought processes that go on when you are trying to figure out situations in your life. So this guide is also in some way, I feel like, shielding you, because this winged energy that I'm seeing from the temperance card. Temperance, I feel, is a very like balanced in terms of like gender type things, like that nurturing and then that providing kind of like energies, how they work with each other, and in terms of parenting yourself. So I am getting strong like parental vibes from this like energetic being. It's going to look and manifest in different ways in each of your individual lives, but this guide is definitely watching over you and offering you some kind of protection. I do see Queen of Swords as being a protective mother figure type of energy. So this guide is also possibly having to do, because I'm seeing this as like a stork or a crane, like has to do with like your fertility, or like your, it's definitely like a family type energy as well, helping you transform different family cycles. You could also be a parent, so this guide helps you with your parenting, helps you with being stubborn and being stuck in like old patterns. So, and showing you the self-discipline that it takes as well, because I do see this Queen of Swords energy as being very disciplined. Both of the masculine and feminine air energy, like the Queen and King of Swords in tarot, I see as referring to discipline, but that's just being reiterated with the Temperance card showing up here, which I also see as discipline. Let's find, I want to use like multiple decks today. I want to get one card from the Sacred Geometry Activations Oracle. So I just want to see like kind of what this guide may be trying to communicate to you specifically today. Okay, and a card already popped out, so I think I'm going to take it because that was a rough shuffle. And I think that that's why like this message already came out. So we have magic, and it says, the frequency of magic supports our intrinsic ability to grow and expand beyond this moment, to move toward possibilities and expressions that are as grand and profound as we can imagine. All that is required is our belief in their manifestation. I feel that you have been feeling somewhat stuck, especially with this Devil card in reverse, and you've been feeling like you need to be liberated in some way. That could be liberating yourself from like certain relationships, because the Queen of Swords is also something that I see as like setting those boundaries and establishing like where you want to go. But also the Queen of Swords energy, you have to push things out sometimes, and you have to see what doesn't serve you anymore. So I feel that magic also reminds me of like that alchemical, hopefully I said that right, alchemical process that happens where you have to exchange for like something of equal value for another. So with this magic, I do see that this is you conversing and having like an exchange with your spiritual team, with your spiritual guidance, to be able to give up certain things in your life for what you feel is aligned with your greatest good and where you want to see this lifetime unfold. So I do see this as like a really big awakening of the third eye, being able to channel your passions and your like wants and desires and excitement that you've stored up for your journey in this life into the channels and like routes that you feel are highest aligned with that perspective. So this could be you pouring yourself into a job and finally like going after different opportunities, like different internships, different networking opportunities that you have for this like opening in your life. Or it could be pouring yourself into doing shadow work to help yourself heal from relationship wounds and self-love wounds that have accumulated and things like that. So this is definitely about like being able to figure out what has happened in the past and turn it into something beautiful for the future, and seeing yourself as you want to be in the future. And this guide really helping push you in that direction. So this guide is also saying that they want to be able to facilitate on the energetic and spiritual realm in those pursuits. So you also could be somebody that does have some kind of more of like a spiritual business going on. If you are putting yourself into a spiritual business, these guides are helping you, or this guide, excuse me, is helping you. I just said these guides because I am conversing with multiple at once, because I'm reading for a group. So I hope that this resonated, and I hope that this was something that uplifted you and helped you see that you are loved and you are divinely protected and guided at all times. I wish you the best, and I will see you in another video. I want to thank you for being here as well. I'll be on to pile 2. Bye. Hello, pile 2. If you selected pile 2, or this little stripy rock, then this is going to be your spirit guide reading. So when it comes to spirit guides are going to be individual and unique, but they have similar energetic signatures when it varies from person to person. So because this is a general reading, I'm going to be tapping into that like similar energetic frequency, energetic signature that is followed throughout between the different guides that I'm connecting with. So I hope that you know that, as always, you can have your discernment, use your intuition, strengthen it by seeing which messages are meant for you and which ones maybe are meant for someone else. So because our incense has gone out, I want to light it again just to make sure that you know that we have a protected space as I'm tapping into this, that this is calling in our guides of wisdom and truth and compassion and love that are helping us, and that are higher vibrational frequencies aligning us with our highest and greatest good. So I wanted to start by introducing your spirit guide with the card that they chose to represent themselves today. And this card is Judgment. So Judgment even has an angel in it in the Rider-Waite, or Rider-Waite-Smith, excuse me. So this is Judgment. Judgment in this deck has the dove above a bunch of other like black kind of, I'm thinking of like crows, bats even, ravens, those kind of birds behind it. And this dove looks and appears as if it is shining, and it possibly maybe was one of these birds at one point, and now it has kind of gone up into light and become a symbol of peace. And I think that this is a really nice and protective energy. You may have had a really complicated and difficult past. You also may have felt a lot of times very disconnected to spirit. That was something that I was really picking up on intensely when I was tapping into this energy, that there is a disconnection from spirit that feels as though it happens for you pretty frequently. You may kind of resonate with that like martyr archetype, where you feel that you are trying so hard for spirit. I do feel like you are a very deeply like religious kind of group. Not to say that you have to be religious, but I do feel that you follow some kind of code of ethics or doctrine pretty often. I want to get a little bit more insight into what this guide, oh, okay, this deck isn't shuffling very properly, so I want to maybe use a different deck. Hold on. I feel that you in some way have some like structured routine of spirituality. That's all I'm saying with that religious comment. So let's see how this guide kind of communicates with you and what this energy looks like in your day-to-day life. I also was having a vision of like a circus, and there was a light point. Someone was in the circus tent, which is dark, and they have a light point that they see in the crowd across the way. They're trying to go there, and there's a camel that kind of comes through, and I feel that it was like blocking them from getting there, and it felt like that light, that place that you're going is kind of far off. But it's not quite like you're trying to get somewhere. It is more that like there's something that is far away that is difficult for you to reach in some way or some form. So it's like something that you've been yearning for, something that you've been building, that you've seen. Because also I had another vision when I was channeling a song for you guys, because I did want to include music into this, because I do feel like our spiritual team really communicates to us through metaphors and music and like art. So, and as I said that, I see 444 on my timestamp. So your song is What's Your Damage by Be Your Own Pet, and it's the phrase that I got was yearning for the beyond, and then the vision was the city across water. So it was like kind of a dusky time. It was like cloudy at the time, and then looking over the pond, it was a very still body of water, and then there is like this city line on this horizon. So that's why I'm saying I feel like it's something that you're building to, and it's something that you've been wanting for a long time, but you feel like you're still in this journey. I feel that this could be like a home life, building a family with somebody, or building like a proper relationship that you've wanted. I do have a feeling that there's something to do with romance and this angel. Okay, I know I already shuffled, but I just want to shuffle one more time. And then, okay, we're going to pull a card just to see how this judgment guide influences you and what areas of your life that it affects. We have, haha, I love when there's confirmation. So we got romantic love. This is definitely something that is helping your romance life. Let's also see, why is this like past energy? Because I do associate the judgment card with kind of past energy, or like something that's almost like a lifelong journey, something that carries with you for a long time. So why is this a more long-term guide? Okay, and we have transition. And this says the frequency of transition supports our deep understanding of the ever-changing nature of existence and our lives, so that we can learn to let go, surrender to the process, and allow transition to occur with ease and grace. You may be transitioning in your life in terms of like partnership, and so you have a partnership, I feel, that is somewhat still attached to your energy. It's still in your system. It's something that you think about a lot. It's something that kind of was it like changed your life in some way. Not to say that like romance is the only thing that may change your life, but specifically this relationship or a string of relationships that you had. It could be like platonic relationships that also coincided with this. Those changed your reality in such a way that you are now kind of adjusting to the changes and seeing that your whole entire energy system has been uprooted. And that's why I feel that there is this like kind of dark energy that surrounds you. I'm almost getting like 8th house energy. It's just this like complete overhaul of emotional transformation, physical transformation, spiritual transformation, all these different things. And I feel that this relationship is either something that you see as a soulmate connection, and that's why it's really difficult for this energy to be purged from you, or it's something that showed you where you want to be headed. And so you are trying to connect to either another person or another experience that mimics and feels the same way that that experience felt. It's getting yourself now, like that you know that you can do this like connection to self. You're trying to find more connection to self through other relationships with other people in some way. So let's look into, I want to use an affirmation deck just to see. And this is a deck that I made. Okay, and we had 3 cards come out. It says, I am a creative force capable of using my power to create or destroy whatever I please. Yeah, and then we have, I am as powerful as a raging waterfall and as still as a placid pond. And then we also have, I am divinely protected. So again, with that darkness, going back to like that circus vision that I had, the person is surrounded by the darkness. They feel, also circuses remind me of clowns. It is also kind of relating to this like stripe thing that came through. So I do feel like, okay, relating to this spirit guide specifically, this spirit guide feels that it needs to enshroud you in this kind of darker energy to help purge out things and help you see the truth. I feel like that light that you're going towards is seeing the truth, and the camel there is storing everything you need and giving you all the resources that you need while you're in this like kind of dark night of the soul transformation period in your lifetime, in your soul's journey as well. So it's showing you all of your gifts and talents and kind of narrowing things down. I do feel like this guide is pushing you almost into like a pinhole. I'm getting the idea of like, okay, I had a conversation with somebody recently about octopuses and how they kind of go through like whatever hole they will fit in. And I feel that this guide will show you, okay, you may not think that you can fit through this hole. You may not think that you can get through, and you can. And when you go through this hole, you are going to shed other things and leave them in this past paradigm of yourself. So this guide is really showing you the power of transformation. And that's also why they're saying like, you're protected. Like, this is something that you should repeat to yourself. I am divinely protected. I have this guidance that is going to be caring for me, that is showing me the way. Kind of putting your faith in what is happening. It is that like pleading out to the sky, screaming like, help me. I need this. I need the clarity. I need to know where I want to go. I feel like there is some aspect of your emotional self and your romantic self that is like, why am I a broken record? Why am I stuck on these like cycles of love? Trying to figure out where you fit in like a romantic sphere, all the things like that. I feel like it's a lot of your like relationship to love and your relationship to attachment and stuff like that that is really being called into question at this moment in time. And with the other two, like being a creative, you know, talking about your creative power, the ability to manifest the things that you put your focus on, or what is going to come forward in your life, how you're going to be taken care of, what you're going to be shown, the situations you're going to find yourself in. And this is also talking about taking time to rest and really check in with yourself and seeing, okay, I may not know all of the pieces to the situation, but how do I feel? How does my like body interpret what is happening? How do I feel when I think about certain things? Like almost doing little tests within yourself. Like this guide may kind of do sneaky little things, like bring you a certain memory of something, or like you'll see something on social media that'll remind you of like a situation, and like kind of checking in immediately. Okay, how do you feel in your body? Because you have this physical response. I do feel like that's something that happens a lot with this guide. They tap into your physical self. And I want to get one more card just to close us out and see kind of what this guide wants you to know. We have the Emperor that came out. And I feel that this is referencing this year. I feel that this guide is someone that is kind of more temporary. This is more of an energy that is like showing you through, like I said, this transition period, this time in your life until you reach that like light, light I also am seeing as like physical codes, like something that is absolute, a truth. So you may be trying to find out a truth in your life, and you are headed towards the discovery of that. And so this guide is someone who is, again, with the Emperor, like this is masculine energy. This is energy that is direct and very focused, and it has that logical mind tied in. So it's tying in your logic with your intuition. And I feel that this is referencing that this is the year of the Emperor, that this is the year that this guide is really going to transform you, and that this guide is walking with you through the course of this year to help you gain clarity by the end of it. This also may be an intention or something that you set at the beginning of the year, something that you wanted to see come to fruition throughout the course of this year, and this guide is really pulling strings to get this done. So I hope that this resonated. I hope that this helped connect you to your higher guidance and your spiritual wisdom. I hope that this uplifted you, and I want to thank you for watching this video, letting me read into your energy system. I want to thank your guides for coming through and allowing me to communicate with them and deliver concise messages. Otherwise, I will see you in another video, and I hope that you have a blessed day. Pile 3, let's go. Hello, Pile 3. So if you selected Pile 3, or this little iridescent fire opal that we have, then this is going to be your spirit guide reading. I don't know if you could, there, you can kind of see it a little bit better. There's a little glint. I hope that any little like background jingling noises don't bother you. My cat's joined us for this reading today, and she's been making a little bit of noise, but here we go. So your spirit guide is coming through as the Magician. Again, I also want to preface this before I really start getting into messages and stuff, that this is a general reading, so it's describing an energetic signature that follows kind of almost like a pattern, and it may resonate for each of you differently in your life. So I'm just going to give you kind of a generalized idea of what this energy may do and the areas of your life that this energy may kind of influence, and it isn't going to be as specific as it would be if you got a personal reading. So but your guide is the Magician, and the Magician is right after the Fool. It's like the beginning of the major arcana. It is the initiation onto a journey. I'm also being reminded that this was just a recent full moon, or excuse me, new moon. That changes it, but a new moon where we set intentions, where we bring in new energy, where we start creating, and where we see everything that we've been given to enable us to have this new start. Because when you go into a journey, you always have resources. You always have something that you have been given from before the journey starts to allow you to begin on this journey. The Fool is the initiation of this journey. It's maybe not having those resources or not recognizing that you have those resources, the purity in that. And the Magician here has the resources. He acknowledges that the resources are there. I do feel that this is more masculine energy as well, because it's connected to Aries. It's connected to that fighting spirit to move forward. And I also think that a color that is associated with this guide, it's already shown up here, but it's definitely orange. Orange is something that, like, it's even kind of in this stone that we have here. It's a color that is talking about our manifestation, our ability to emotionally regulate, and how that affects our manifestations, how all those things play together. So I also wanted to introduce the song that came through when I did a little bit of shufflemancy for this group, because I do feel that the music that we listen to, or music is literally just vibrations. So the vibrations of the song, the vibrations of the lyrics in the song, they have something to point out to you about a situation in life that this guide wants to connect with you on. This guide is also very fluid. This guide may give you very clear kind of string of thoughts and help you really work through those strings of thoughts in an effective way, a way that really helps you get down to the nitty-gritty of a situation and helps you. I do believe that this may also connect you with other people. So like if you're verbally processing something, or if you like process things by writing things down in a notebook, it may be like a very like fluid stream of thoughts, because this guide is really trying to help you kind of work through things so that you can see, again, all those resources that you've collected, all these things that are going on. It's really taking an assessment of everything that's happened. The song, back to that, is Go, Go, Go by Roy Woods. And I got the phrase salt and pepper, or like just an image of somebody putting salt and pepper. Okay, so this is also, I think that this is where the manifestation comes in. I want to get a few cards, excuse me, on this as I'm kind of talking about it, but I feel like there's some amount of your life that feels bland or like flavorless, because when we put salt and pepper on a dish, it's probably not exactly compliments to the chef. Like, it's something that it's like you need to spice up your life. Like there's something that is unsatisfying about what's happening in your life. I'm also being directed to a story that is one of my personal favorite like fables that I've ever heard, and it's about someone who meets someone in their life. I view this more as like, I don't know, like a soul connection with somebody, and they feel an instant like admiration, adoration, and just deep, intense like love for this person and desire to care for this person and involve them in things in their life. And they realize, like, because this person comes in and makes them food, and they make noodles just really well. That's the story. They make noodles really well, and the noodles, they realize when they eat them on their own, because the person leaves, they start eating the noodles on their own, and they realize that they're flavorless when they make them themselves, and it's almost like their life has no flavor. And so I feel that you may be kind of craving more. You have an insatiable desire for something in your life that you may feel that you have lost, or there is a lost opportunity here. So this guide is pointing to the fact that you always have a new start, you always have a new beginning, you can always pick up and go in the direction that you need to go. You're always being guided there. So let's pull a card about what this guide is doing in your life, just more like energetic signatures that this guide kind of leaves where they're leading you. Okay. And again, with this fiery energy, so this is definitely, woo! Okay. Now that that's taken care of, this is energy that works with your lower chakras, is what I was trying to say. Also, the glass falling there, I think is really interesting, because glass breaking, this may have happened recently in the past, or you may have dreams of this, but glass breaking is also talking about a curse being broken. So this may mean that you did some kind of work, or you pushed through some kind of energy. Like, I'm seeing that you like stopped a habit or changed, it was like a lifestyle change of some sort that released some karma and pushed you to where you want to go, and is like enabling you to be on this new fresh start and see all the resources that you have. So there's some kind of moment that was like, okay, I broke the curse, now what? Like, now how am I going to protect myself? How am I going to keep moving? Because we also have, okay, all three of these cards are, again, that yellow, orange, and red, which is the solar plexus, the sacral, and the root. And those talk about our, like, I think of them as almost connected to our childhood. They're also fire energy, because we have a lot, like, here's the fire, it's the colors of fire, and then also there's the Knight of Wands in reverse, and this is like somebody kind of hesitating possibly to follow their passions. It's more like, it's again that getting started energy, building momentum. And I do feel that this is you feeling spiritually inadequate or spiritually unequipped to go on this journey and to kind of manifest your dreams. I feel like this guide is really pushing you in the direction of where you want to go. I mean, again, your song is even go, go, go. Like, I am going to chase after what I want. I need to go. I need to push myself. And the Nine of Pentacles here is also, I feel, pushing you out of your comfort zone, because usually this is talking about somebody who's comfortable, somebody who's kind of made everything for themselves, and it's saying, okay, you've gotten comfortable, you've figured out where you are going to be, do not stagnate. Don't allow yourself to quit moving in order to chase after your goals. Like, don't let yourself get stuck, because I think that anything that is evil or deemed evil is something that is not progressing us in the direction that we need to be progressed in. So this devil energy is just caution to keep you from stagnating, to keep you from being held down by these old habits, these old systems, these old beliefs. I do feel that if this is something that you had released and then has been brought back into your energy system, it's really important for you to keep it out and to remind yourself why you stopped doing these things in the past. I'm also, for some reason, getting the idea of a ring. So this could have to do with like a marriage or some kind of, I know, like some kind of toxic relationship, or possibly a commitment also, because rings signify commitment. This is a commitment that possibly you may feel obligated to, or like it's just something that's holding you. Like, there's something very much like holding on to you, and it's really up to you whether you want to allow yourself to kind of like be held down or stuck somewhere, or if you see yourself moving forward. It's really idealizing, like seeing the version of you that is ideal. So let's look into some affirmations that this guide is possibly bringing to you. I want to kind of know how long this guide has been with you. Okay, 2 cards came out. We have I am as powerful as a raging waterfall and as still as a placid pond. So this is allowing yourself to get your emotions in check, seeing how your emotional self is kind of how it serves you to sometimes have those emotions flowing and moving like that waterfall, seeing that your emotions have malleability and have the ability to shift and change, and show you through the progression, through their movement. And also how when you sit there and you see the stillness, how also you can observe easily because you have the ability to clearly conceptualize the future. I feel like this is a lot of helping you with aligning a lot of different your higher guidance or your higher chakras, like your higher energy systems of like thinking and rational, like logical thought and intuition, in with your lower chakras and lower systems of figuring out how you navigate things in a physical world, and also how those senses and how those things that you've taken in with your sensory system, how those like integrate in with your spiritual self, that like those thought processes. It's the meeting of the two worlds, because also we have I attract the opportunities I desire easily. Okay, this guide definitely connects in with your heart chakra a lot to be able to do this energy up and down, seeing how all this information connects with all this information from down here. Pay attention to your heartbeat is what I'm getting from this guide. This guide, I feel, really wants you to listen. They may either, because they're connected to the sacral, because they're connected to orange energy, they may have like kind of muscle spasms down in your lower abdomen, or like your heart kind of races or something. It's something to do with one of those energy systems that is influenced by this guide and is trying to show you things. We also have, with this I attract the opportunities I desire easily, back to that magician energy. It's seeing how your energy system, basically what this guide is trying to do is get you to be more connected to your bodily self and figure out how you nurture your energy, like physical energy, that's going to translate into the spiritual. It's going to translate into your mind and into your like energy systems, and the way that your energy reflects out in the spiritual realm, is how it gets reflected back to you, what you attract in. So what you build in within yourself is going to come to you from the outside as well. And it's getting you to see that exchange, that communication. So this guide, I want to pull, just because that's something that's interesting to me, how long this guide has been with you, and it's the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. So I feel that this guide is some guide that has been doing work with you for a long time. They're a guide that possibly, I feel that they could have, yeah, this is probably a human spirit in some form, because this guide, I feel, they know the physical experience because they've lived it many times. I feel that this is some kind of ascended master, some kind of guide that likes to do a lot. It takes a lot of energy to get all of the system communicating with each other, and this is why it's like almost a full body experience sometimes, and it's something that is very hard to escape, this like connection with this guide, because this guide is someone who is very complex. It's an energy that is out of the frying pan and into the fire. Like, they turn the heat up, they are intense, and they really want you to see the importance. I feel like this guide is a guide that is almost like a last resort for your spirit. In some way, you've connected with this guide many times. They're just soft enough, but just disciplined enough to be able to push you in the right direction. I hope that makes sense. I want to thank any of your guides that did come through. I want to thank my higher guidance, and I want to thank you for viewing my video and just helping me out by allowing me to help you out. I hope to see you again in another video. Otherwise, have a blessed day, and I'll see you again. Bye.